Alright, so I'm going to go through the Ask Me Anything questions. Let's see if I can read these okay. Okay, how you been, man? How's the music project going? And do you have any plans to release anything in the future? Yeah. Recording at home is fun, but it's also difficult because sometimes I don't stay on something enough or I get frustrated. So I may have to record away from here to do a serious album, but we'll see. I need to get on that. Any regrets selling Kurt's personal items you had? If you're talking about the things that Kurt gave to me, I've only sold a couple of them, and I don't regret it because it was like 30 years. I kept stuff for 30 years, and believe me, it wasn't easy to get rid of. So when it comes to like regretting it, the only thing that makes me unhappy is the guy that I sold them to. In a sense, when he bought them, he said he was a collector and he was going to frame them and put them on his wall. And then the guy turned around and put them on eBay, and still has, I don't know, I mean, he still has like something on the note on eBay maybe, and possibly, I don't know. Anyway, that kind of pissed me off because I was really the type of guy that if he would have said, yeah, hey, I am going to turn around and sell this in a couple of years, whatever, I'd have been like, oh, okay, man, I definitely wanted to get in the hands of somebody that appreciated it, but I'm not stupid. I mean, I know that somebody would possibly want to sell it one time, but he flat out lied, I mean, it was pretty obvious because he went and like listed it immediately after he bought it from me. So, so regrets? No, I actually did. I'm happy with the transaction financially or whatever. It was all right. Like, the guy's trying to sell it for way too much. It's kind of ridiculous whether what you believe to be true or not in value. It's like the real value of something. I mean, yeah. Anyway, all right, moving on. So no, I don't regret it. And do I think how Kurt would have felt? Kurt would have been fine with it. he would have been like, he would have been blown away and been happy that it could have helped me. So, favorite Mudhoney song. Keep it out of my face. That song. So what? Keep it out of my face. I like that one. Not a huge Mudhoney fan. Meaning like I like Mudhoney, but when it comes to like when Matt went from the Melvins to Mudhoney, I love the Melvins. So Mudhoney was like just kind of like to me, kind of like rehashed Stooges, garage kind of stuff. And I liked Mark Arb's voice. I liked how he in Mudhoney he went off and he took his voice to, more screaming and stuff like that, And I know he did in Green River, but anyway, all right. Moving on. Give us an exhaustive tour of all your gear, please. Guitar, pedal, amps, drums, rig, rundown. Yeah, that's a whole nother video. I've done that some. How dark it is and everything. Yeah, I probably won't do that exactly. I can, because I have a lot of weird pedals and, but, I figure out something. I can do a video. I want to know what your favorite Nirvana song is, an Alice in Chains song, please and thank you. Nirvana song changes, you know. One day it'll be, because I don't listen to Nirvana really hardly at all. It's very hard to listen to anymore. There's a lot of, there really is a lot of frustration that happens when I listen. A lot of weird, like, memories pop up. Like, I could do something like, almost play a Nirvana song and then start to tell you what I'm feeling. So I'm just gonna say, like, I'll just like Aero Zeppelin, you know. I'll say that, like the big picture, you know. It's like that was probably, that and Paper Cuts were my, you know, my favorite. And Alice in Chains, never been a big Alice in Chains fan, though I liked the first two albums. Dirt, especially. Love Hate Love is a really good song. I really liked Love Hate Love when Facelift came out. And what's that? The first song on Facelift is cool. I like that one. Die Young, or whatever it's called. We Die Young. But I think Dirt has Sick Man. Okay, I'll just say Sick Man. Yeah, Sick Man's probably my favorite Alice in Chains song. Not a huge Alice in Chains fan after the first two albums. And anyway. Let's see. Have you ever seen the movie The River's Edge? Yes, I have. It's been a while. I think River Phoenix is in that, right? If I remember right. Okay. John, compare Alvin Lee, 69 Woodstock singer, to Kurt Cobain. Cobain genre, or to Cobain genre things. Alvin Lee, 10 years after. I think more of 10 years after footage from Isle of Wight is kind of like out of control, crazy, where he's like tuning his guitar down, and then he plays really low in a low tuning, and then he tunes it up really slowly, and it goes into this crazy 10 years after solo. That's an Isle of Wight. That's cool. That actually does kind of like a little bit reminiscent of like creativeness, of kind of, you know, breaking the rules of guitar, you know. So yeah. A playlist. Yeah, I read this last night and I thought that was a good idea. I should make a playlist and share my favorite songs. Yeah, there's a lot. I think Boot Hill, I think that there's people at labels that, yeah, could definitely enjoy the extra sale of Nirvana related stuff that surrounds so much Nirvana mania related to Kurt's death. It's people. I wouldn't say everybody from labels, and I wouldn't say every label, but I'm sure there's people that, you know, there's just there's people out there that unfortunately do like that type of thing. Okay. Can you spell hitting a symbol and then grabbing it? The closest I can get to is I would just go it's almost like spelling shit, like shit, you know, or something. But it's also fuck, ow, like when you catch it on your nail and you go to catch a symbol and it goes into your nail. It's like fuck. Currently reading books on Nirvana right now. I'm confused about one thing, and is that for some, oh, Nirvana being a, well, in the 80s especially, being in a punk band, it wasn't like you're part of, it wasn't like you're part of some club, or get, and it's like, and um because you're doing your thing, you're doing your creative process in your band. But if a band would sign to a major label, there would be like, there would be people that would be very punk purists or whatever, that would say it was like selling out because you're giving into the man and leaving the true DIY, do it yourself. And it's still to this day, I'm sure people still think like that. Back then, it may have been some jealousy too, because and I saw it in the punk scene for sure. What I was in. I mean, Subvert was part of the extreme DIY scene. You know, but I know that if a label would have come after us with money, everybody in the band, is like, as much as there's a couple people in the band that would have been like, no, fuck that, Sub Pop or whoever, the band would have fucking caved and would have done it. So the whole sellout thing is bullshit, and it's just an illusion concept. Um, but yeah, it's just it's an arrogant thing on the part of the people that think that they're not being arrogant about it, you know, because in your right mind, a band being a creative art form that you want to share with more people, and that's all Kurt wanted. He wanted to share music with more people, or the band wanted to share. That's Chris and Dave and Chad and whoever else is in the band. Um, yeah, there's a lot more I could say on that. I'm reading more of your question anyway. Other questions I have. What's your favorite books and movies? That's a lot. Wow, I really appreciate your questions. That's a lot. That's a lot to say it right at this point. Um, I currently do play guitar, drums, sing, play bass. I can play keyboards a little bit. I'm not I'm not that good at it, but I know how to do it, and I can write songs doing it. Um, I've probably been in about 30 bands, a lot of bands. It would take a while to name them all. What do you like to do spare time? I love to hang out with friends, play music, read. You know, I like movies. I like, all the kind of stuff you know, that's good entertainment. We'll go for walks, um, hang out with my girlfriend. Let's see. Okay. No, I've never met Callie. I don't know what I'd say to him. I don't even know if I'd recognize him. It would have to be how he approached me. If he was friendly to me, and if I'd kind of see what kind of person he was, and And you know, it's one of those things. It's like I don't know Callie, and everything points towards you know, Callie knowing more than he's saying, and you know, just like, you know, there's a lot of weirdness to the whole story, but then, you know, I don't know the guy, and I don't really know how I would approach a conversation with him. Hey, okay, so I'm gonna finish this up. Ethan says, "Do you go to Bumpershoot?" I used to go to Bumpershoot, but then it got way too expensive, and there wasn't as much good music. So yeah, up until about 2007 ish, 8, I don't know, something like that. I went to Bumpershoot most years I could. Do you know Fat Mike from NoFX? I do not know Fat Mike. Sean from Subvert knows Fat Mike, and I think Flash knows Fat Mike. Fat Mike, as far as I know, is, you know, regarding what he said about Courtney to Nardwuar, I think it was sarcastic. That was my feeling of that. It was sarcastic, and I don't think he had any inside information. I really doubt that. Not that that's what you were asking, but I'm guessing because, you know, that's you know, Fat Mike keeps coming up regarding him like knowing who killed El Duce or whatever. So let's see, what music am I listening to now, or what is in my stereo? Nothing's in my cassette deck. In my car stereo, I made a compilation of a bunch of 80s punk bands, including Jerry's Kids, RKL, Battalion of Saints, De Kreutzen, Fang, Bad Brains. Yeah. And then I have a bunch of I listen to all kinds of stuff in my car. I listen to like early metal. I was just listening to the first 2 Iron Maiden albums and the second Pinback album, Blue Screen Life. What else in my car? I gotta scroll down here a little bit. Okay, so Chukka Thompson. I've been stuck in a situation for quite some time. Basically, not too long ago, I had a guitarist, steel guitar, also a sax player, and we met a producer who had great credits, been on tours, recording, etc. So I went out and bought some recording equipment. So I'm guessing you wanted him to record you guys. Roughly like $2,000. And I asked if I could take it to their place for safekeeping. The answer to this was yes. So I then make up with my band a few times after and start recording with the producer solo. So the other guys weren't playing with you. Everything's good for a while. Then they start getting unreliable, coming up with bad excuses too often. One day they didn't cancel on me because they were sleeping instead. I show up ready to record and they tell me news. Yep, what you didn't want to happen happened. It's all in the pawn shop. What would you do in a situation like this? Well, that's theft. That's flat out theft. You put trust in some people that you didn't know. That's what it sounds like, and they took advantage of you and went and hawked your shit. I don't know you, and I don't know your friends, and I wouldn't want to give any advice in this, man. If somebody did that to me, there's people that I know. I mean, it would get taken care of very, very quick. But I don't associate with people that would do that shit, you know. So, yeah, I mean, that's about all I can say on that. But it is theft. So if anything, I would go fill out a police report and be 100% honest and go from there. You know. Okay, and if you have any of the numbers, the serial numbers or anything to the gear, that would help too. Years ago. Oh, okay, I think I already answered that one. Okay. Any opinions on Meshuggah? I have no idea who they are. I strongly believe Kurt's note was stating that he'll be leaving Nirvana. And what's your thoughts? Did I already comment on that one? Yeah, I mean it sounds like a note. Um, it's just, you know what, one thing that bothers me about the whole thing, well, there's a few things that bother me about the whole thing with the note, but I wasn't able to talk to Kurt and see what his frame of mind was, you know, at that time, you know. Anyway, okay. Um, how close to Kurt were you, gauging, like, you know, what type of friend? We were good friends. The thing is, he lived in Olympia with Tracy, and for, let's see, 1988, 1989, we were in pretty close contact, you know. I didn't talk, like, all the time to him, but, so like every couple weeks, you know. And those guys, every time they played a show locally, I'd go, and I'd usually call him, if I was going down there. He'd call me just randomly sometimes and just say hi, and we, you know, call each other randomly. Yeah, so it's just like good friends. If he would have lived in Tacoma, I think we would have been, you know, even closer friends. But yeah, good friends. Okay, I think there's one more. No, I think that's it. If I missed any, then I'll have to go back over. But I'm looking on my phone. Okay, cool. Thanks much.